3,000 miles.
This week on the Cruising Kiwis.
These are the bomb. These are the VTTI, like Mac Daddy pimping awesomenessly fantastic.
So much room in here.
And the total is...
This is Rob, and I'm Rachel, and these are our boys, Finn, Declan, and Ivan. We have sailed our catamaran Javelot across the Pacific Ocean. We would love it if you join us for the adventure.
This dream to live by the sea.
So welcome back to part 2 of the Lightning Strike Refit series. Last episode, you may recall, we talked about the solar panels and how we got bigger but less of them and more efficient. And as a consequence of that, we also had to add extra batteries to the battery bank to take the storage. So let's get straight into it. Please join me as we head into the starboard engine room to see what modifications and upgrades we've made there. Oh, cozy. And this is the battery bank. We're in the engine room, starboard engine room. And we had 2 extras as added as we say that. Now, while I'm sitting in here, what else can? Oh yes, this was all upgraded. This is a 2 kilowatt inverter we had added in here, and it. Tell you what, we've got another inverter inside. It's 800 watts. Tell you what, if we did anything more than I don't know, charge phones or laptops, anything other than that, it should pop. The fuse would blow. So we've added this in. Now we can use the whiz bang. Oh, the whiz bang. Such a great little toy. We can make smoothies and make proper recipes. Fantastic. If you look down here, we have 2 solar regulators, and these are the bomb. These are the VTTI, like Mac Daddy pimping awesomenessly fantastic regulators. That is the most efficient use of when they bring in the power. They do some doodah stuff that regulates and pushes it into the batteries, and if it's too much or too little, it somehow manipulates it way better, more efficiently than the last one. So these doodahs are fantastic, really good. Highly recommend them, but they are not cheap. About $500 each, as opposed to like you can get them for $50. And that's the one that's on the solar on the Bimini. I know because it says Bimini, and this is the one that's on the davits. I know because it says aft davits. That's amazing that it came with that. How'd they know? And there's lots of fuses. We've fused them. You have to fuse. It's interesting actually. You have to fuse from the solar panel to the regulator, and then you have to fuse it from the regulator to the batteries. So it's double fused. Those are the ones coming from the solar panels. Those are the ones going to the batteries.
And while we're in our extensive engine room, so much room in here, so Robert's just turned the camera on me so I can point out our charge master. This is what we really needed when we first hauled out, because we had to be on shore power, but as soon as we plugged the shore power in, nothing. Our charge master had been killed by the lightning strike, so we got one put in at the cost of $1,200. And about a month later it died, just died. So we had to have that one taken out and another one put in.
Actually, I want to acknowledge Mastervolt here, because it's not Charge Master, it's a Mastervolt product, and they were good for replacing it for us, which I thought was pretty honourable actually. Go Mastervolt. And another thing in the engine room, and this is Bob, auto helm. Probably one of the most important electrical items on this boat. Without Bob on board, life would be unpleasant when sailing. I've been sailing 3 minutes, And I'm already over it. Steering. Steering, what's that all about?
It's quite fun. We'll take it in turns all the way down the river.
Replace this, and along with the other kit, the Brain and ICU 2000 Raymarine and the compass thingy for getting the GPS positioning, and we also replaced all the gauges, the ST60 pluses, wind, tri data, and the auto helmet itself. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on a really positive reflection on something that was done exceedingly well under trying circumstances. Some of you may recall early on in our YouTube career that I had a habit of cutting holes, drilling holes, doing top grade workmanship.
Yeah, really thought this one through. Would you demonstrate?
So
He's made a
the hole I
lovely
cut.
big hole.
Now the problem is, this thickness here is way thicker than I thought it would be. I didn't realise it was going to be quite so thick. I'll just
Yeah.
show you how thick
Always-
it is. It's like super thick.
Did you not
Wow.
actually have a look at any of the
Well, it's
other
hard to tell.
things
Anyway,
that were
show us how it looks, Finn.
There's
Put
only
the therm
4 other
gauge
things
in.
cut through it.
So the gauge is in. I mean, it'd be great if it was, ideally, if that front edge of that lip was like hit the front edge of this, wouldn't it? It'd be great.
Yeah, that
But
would be
actually-
ideal, wouldn't it? My
Dude, you're
goodness.
sitting
Yeah, but
right
it
there.
isn't.
In a perfect world,
In a perfect world.
that might have happened, but you didn't
Listen,
look.
folks,
Well,
we don't live in a perfect world, okay? So
squared,
get
but
used
this
to it.
isn't that
We
world.
certainly don't live in a perfect
Wait, what's wrong with it?
Oh, well,
serious?
where should we start?
This doodah and that doodah are still, what, 2.5, 3 years later? Working beautifully well and looking like they've just been installed. The package for not including the gauges is just under 5,000 Australian dollars, and so not another big ticket item. Then there's the fitting of it, etc., etc. So I've talked about Bob, the autohound, being probably the most important electrical item on the boat. Arguably, the Vespa AIS and the Iridium Go are almost up there as well, when combined with the iPad navigation and weather routing, where we use Predict Wind, which is just a stunning application for safety, for fast tracking of weather systems and putting your own course into where you want to go. I have to say that the Predict Wind, what an absolute change it's been for every sailor who's out there who uses it. I could not recommend it enough. So one of the other electronic components, the AIS, the all-important AIS positioning locator tracking doodah. Vespa AIS in this case, great little unit. Amazing actually what they can do. Not only as letting everyone else know where we are, but as a safety item as well. We might touch on those again later, how it works. We had to replace this too. The VHF radio got blown out, as did the aerial. We had to rewire all the aerial. Also, we were quite lucky. The wiring in general was completely fine. Had it looked over really carefully, and there was very little damage. But the VHF cable and the cables for the depth sound transducer, the log, the speed log transducer, and the related equipment to that.
I guess what you can't quantify in money terms is the fact that we spent 3 months sitting on the hard doing nothing. Add to that the fact that Rob can no longer fly home because of the closed borders with the pandemic, and we've lost most of our income there. So we were very lucky that we took out insurance a week before getting struck by lightning, and that the insurance accepted our claim. That's the blessing in disguise.
So what you've all been waiting for, I'm going to cut straight to the chase and go to the sum total of the whole refit from the lightning strike. And the total is $64,223.79. That's a truckload of money, and it all got spent and some. So incredible. Bear in mind, we had a $7,000 excess. The insurance in the first instance cost just under $5,000, and there's some depreciation involved as well. So the total amount that we actually got paid was $55,406 $1.05. And as I say, it all got spent, and some.
The good news is it's all finished. We've completed the refit, and in many ways it's like having a new boat. We've got so many new components on board.
And to be clear, the biggest spend was on the marine electrician himself, and the second biggest spend was on the marina hard stand, couple of months, 3 months, including the time we spent back in the marina itself at the dockyard.
And I guess the third biggest spend was on the chocolate we consumed during the whole refit episode.
Chocolate, can't debate that one.
But now we're ready for a new adventure, and so next week you'll see us somewhat calendar delayed, but out and about on the water once more.
And there's plenty of adventures to be sure, we can guarantee that.
Never stop wondering, never stop wondering.
Oh, isn't that great?
This way is my home, love.
That just flowed off your tongue.
'Cause this way is my home.
If you enjoyed this episode, please comment, give us a thumbs up, and best of all, share it. It helps us heaps.
Come on, eat it